Hi, Rahshal with Lady Fermenter. Today I'm going to be brewing a West Coast IPA. Honestly, a style I typically stay away from because I'm never sure which hops will work well together. Now, according to the BJCP, an American IPA should be decidedly hoppy and bitter, and it should have a medium to low clean grain bill and clean fermentation, but a little fruitiness from fermentation is a-okay. So the idea here is to let the hops shine through. Now, on that note, this is a great beer for a beginner. Because of that hop presence and the bitterness, it's gonna hide flaws if you have any. Now, because I'm never sure which hops to choose, I did do something kind of fun to test out the hops before we put them in the brew. And I'll show you what that was. Let's get started. So the reason I typically stay away from West Coast IPAs is I don't know all my hops and I can't just taste them. So what I did this time was I did a couple combinations, and we'll link a video somewhere to show you. We broke it down, the process. But what you're going to need is a neutral flavored beer, something with a neutral malt and a neutral hop profile. And now I've upgraded to, I was using coffee filters, but I've made a humongous mess. So I did splurge and get one of these pour over coffee makers to filter out the hops because I really don't need to drink those. But essentially what I did, now for this combination, this was Columbus Lupamax. Now, pro tip, I'm not a pro, but I like to say pro tip. Lupamax is new technology, and so you only need to use half the amount of hops. And then I also use Cascade. So in this case, I put into a bottle of beer, actual commercial beer, just that had a neutral flavor, 2 pallets of the Columbus Lupamax, and then 4 pallets of the Galaxy. And this pour over coffee is working great. And I'm just going to, that's got the hops. I'm still going to make a mess. But let's see here. And they've been hanging out together for 4 days. Ooh, very citrusy, little piney, pithy grapefruit. Oh, bitter. But, I have to adjust it for the size, but I'll let brewing software dictate how much I put in. But those two actually work pretty well together. All right, now I'm going to rinse this and then go on to our next one. All right.
What's the next one?
The next one is a combination of Eldorado and Lupamax Citra. So again, 2 kernels from the Citra, because we're only going to use half as much, and then 4 from the Eldorado into a neutral profile beer. And they've been hanging out in the fridge for 4 days. And then I'm just using this pour over coffee maker to filter out the hops, because I really do not want to taste hops.
Chunks of hops.
Chunks of hops, yeah. All right. Oh, this one smells good. I can smell it from over here. All right, let's see. Ooh, this one just smells fresh hoppy. Like if you ever played with hops or had a hop yard. A little citrusy, a little bitter. Need to get past the foam. I'd like to taste. Boy, that is citrusy, but I'm not crazy about it. So probably a bad combination on my part. Okay, and now we'll try one more. All right, our third option is I did Strata and Equinaut, again a Lupamax, so I needed to cut that. So 2 pellets, 4 pallets. Let's see what we got. Sorry. There we go. Yes, I'm just straining out the hops. Clean glass. Okay. And this one's piney, grassy. Fruity. Let's see, this one was supposed to be citrus, sweet fruit, berry, and currant. And the other one, citrus, sweet fruit, and spicy. A little bit of spice. Yeah, well, that one or our first selection. Okay, see what happens. I think I'm gonna go with the first one. Galaxy and Columbus. Those are our winners. All right, now put them in brewing software, see how much I need to add, and we'll go from there. Okay, today I will be brewing on a Grainfather G30. And for this 5.5 gallon or approximately 21 liter batch of beer, we are going to be using 13 pounds of pre-ground brewer's malt from Briess, 1.5 pounds of Macca-Gray's Munich, which is Metolius, and 3/4 pound of table sugar. Now in metric, that would be 5.897 kilograms of the brewer's malt, 0.68 kilograms of the Munich, and 0.34 kilograms of the table sugar. And we're going to mash in at 149 degrees Fahrenheit or 65 Celsius, and then that'll go for 60 minutes, and then we'll do a 10-minute mash out at 167 degrees Fahrenheit or 75 degrees Celsius. All right, we're going to the sparge portion of the program, and I gotta tell you, I'm not really crazy about this color or wort, but we'll see what happens. 1 ounce of Galaxy at 60 minutes, and a 1/2 ounce of Lupamax Columbus. Our 5-minute addition is going to be Brew Tan B. Now, if you use this, you want to make sure you add it before Whirlfloc, which we'll be adding in a few minutes. I'm going to add the sugar right now. I really want this beer to dry out. So that's going to be my secret weapon. Not secret, a lot of people do it. I really want this to dry out and be nice and crisp. Now, 1 Whirlfloc tablet. Okay, so our wort is chilled, and I'm getting ready to pitch the yeast. Today I'm going to be using dried Lutra, It's a Kvike, and the thing that's great about it is its temperature range for nice clean fermentation is anywhere from 68 to 95 Fahrenheit, which is 20 to 35 Celsius. And this is great. Dry yeast, all I'm going to do is I've sanitized the package, I've sanitized scissors, and I'm just going to sprinkle this in. It's been a very warm summer, and I just want to use something that's quick and easy. I mean, honestly, this yeast will probably be done in 3 days. And since I don't need any flavor profile from the yeast, I think this will work out great. So I thought I'd take a quick minute and show you our fermentation, how that's going with our IPA, our West Coast IPA. This is Lutra, which is a Kvike strain, but it'll give you a clean fermentation profile at high temperatures. So if you haven't played with this one yet, I would highly recommend check out this Kreuzen. So we brewed this yesterday, and look at her go. Those ladies are really working their butts off. Okay, so our West Coast IPA is finally ready to be cold crashed. Took a while. Normally with Lutra, I put it in our Bucket Buddy.
Smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision, yeah. Oh, smells pretty good. I put it in our Bucket Buddy, set the temperature at 90. 3 days later, Diacetyl test, and then it's clean as a whistle, and we move on. This time, we were kind of in the mid-70s, and it took a lot longer. So we've had 3 days where it's at 10, 12. And so I did a Diacetyl test, tossed it in the fridge. No butter. No butter popcorn, no butterscotch. Whew. Okay, let's see what it tastes like. It's really malty, really grainy malty on the nose. And fruity, pineapple, citrus, that of a grapefruit, and some orange. Oh, it's grainy malty, and whoo, there's the hop bitterness. Now I'm going for a West Coast IPA. Might have to lean toward Imperial because it is at 7.8 right now. So cold crash, when it gets down in the 30s Fahrenheit. We have a video on doing a Diacetyl test, which I will link either here or down below in the notes. Check it out. So now I'm getting ready to dry hop this West Coast. I'm going to be using this mesh cylinder, which I'm going to sanitize and star sand. And I'm just going to weigh out what we have left of the Columbus, Lupamax, and the Galaxy, just for notes purposes. Nope, 5.5 grams. So 5.5 grams of the Galaxy. All right, 57.37 grams of the Columbus Lupamax. Now I'm getting ready the gelatin, because I'm going to gelatin fine. This particular beer is a West Coast IPA, and I want as much stuff to drop out as possible. So I'm using a teaspoon of just grocery store gelatin, and once the gelatin dissolves, I will add it to the beer. I did put the water in the microwave and went for 3 minutes so that it was at a boil, because I don't want to enter any sneaky little microbes into the beer. this is going to seem a little unorthodox, but I did not do any of the low oxygen practices with this IPA. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in 4 Camden tablets crushed into the keg before we add the beer. And one of the things that Camden tablets do, they'll scavenge any oxygen. So we'll see if it works. Okay, we are at 24 hours of dry hopping, and I'm not a IPA connoisseur, so I did call in a couple favors from our friends Bob and Emily. They really enjoy IPAs and they drink them when they go out, and so I had them test this to see if it was bitter enough, and they said yes. So that was last night. So we're at 24 hours. I'll double check my notes, but we're at 24 hours dry hopping at that cool temperature, and it's fruity. It is so fruity. It's orange juice, pineapple, citrus, lemon, and there's a little pithiness. Initially, you don't get a lot of bitter, but it finishes bitter at the back of your throat, and then it leaves a little hint of bitterness on your lips, and you just kind of want more, which is crazy. Dangerous in my opinion, because it's 7.8 ABV, but it doesn't drink that way. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. Now last night when they came over to test it for me, we did the PET bottle with the carb cap, and I can do a video on that if you'd like. But basically, take one of these, empty, squeeze out the air, put your beer in, put the carb cap on, and then I threw it in the freezer just to try to get that, even though it was cold, just to get that CO2 to grab onto the beer, and it'll give you a sneak preview of what your beer will taste like when it's carbonated. So I think it's good enough to go to the Milwaukee Beer Fest. Okay, here is our West Coast IPA. Let's see. It's hazier than I'd like it to be, but I'm not entering it in a contest. I'm really going for flavor, hop presence, and solid, firm bitterness, but not tear your face off. Woo! It is tropical, fruity, pineapple, orange, passion fruit, grapefruit. Oh, a little dank, probably coming from the Columbus. All that follows into the flavor. Holy cow. And it has bitterness, but a drinkable bitterness. So we did get some good feedback at the beer whatever. We did get some good feedback at the beer event, the beer fest, but we had so much on tap, and we had a lot of mead, and mead was going really well. It always does at that fest. So I'm gonna can some up and share it with our friends who really prefer IPAs over the other stuff that we do, and I'll get their feedback mostly on the bitterness. But I absolutely love the hop presence and all the tropical fruitiness. These two hops really work together. Thank you, Lord. So I'm happy about that. And thanks a pint for watching.